Alright, so before this video begins, I would like to address something that pertains to the new Cure single that I think is really fucking hilarious that I just had to talk about because it works so well with this. I was in a Discord server and I was talking about the new Cure single and what I thought of it. I'm going to give these opinions later, that doesn't matter, that's why I'm not showing those screenshots. And me and these two guys, we were chatting about it. We were having a pretty normal, civilized conversation. It was a pretty decent debate showing their sides of why they liked it, and I showed my side of why I didn't like it. But this third guy enters the picture, and this guy says, "I ain't reading all that, happy for you though, or sorry for what had happened." And then my response was, of course the guy who barely listened to 3 Cure albums will not hear a word of what I'm saying. And the reason I said that is because I was giving some information about this guy that he's basically a fraud, that he barely knows anything about gothic subculture or of actually being a Cure fan. And the guy, what he decides to do is, because he is so fragile, he decides to fucking post what I said on Twitter under the context of me being a Morrissey fan. Now, Robin, hello. I don't know if you're watching this or if one of your friends are and they'll send this to you, but I'm gonna be real with you real quick, alright? I'm 17, you're 16, I don't know if you're 07 or 08, but I will tell you this, you need to grow the fuck up. There's no way there's somebody this fucking fragile. Now, yes, I do like the Smiths and Morrissey, but this person really framed my whole reasoning for not liking the Cure single as this, and plus, they go on this rant that how I should get a hobby and thinking that I'm some gatekeeper, when I'm really not. I'm not that huge of a Cure fan. I only stick what they made up until Disintegration. And yes, I've listened to every Cure album in the past multiple times, but it's only because of a discography run, so I can either rank the albums or share my opinions on said albums. And also, you really did this to yourself when it comes to stuff like this and weird shit like this that I was provided. And it does prove the point that you know jack shit about punk or gothic culture or what you're promoting, which is the Cure in general. Plus, I find it funny how you mentioned Last FM, but again, I was just using the information available to me, and when I did look deeper, oh my god, what is this? And also, here's an interesting thing. Look what this guy said about Peekaboo by Susie and the Banshees. That is not what Peekaboo's about. It's about Sue's disgust about softcore pornography in the media, and here is the quote to prove it. And yeah, here is your Last FM stats for your Banshees shit. So yeah, stop pretending to be what you are not. Okay, so the Cure just released a new single. It's titled Alone. It dropped on the 26th of September, and it's to promote the upcoming album Songs from a Lost World that'll be released on November 1st of this year, 2024. And yeah, it was something, I guess. It was a 6-minute snooze fest that didn't really do too much, and it felt like it was just kind of there to exist. It tries too hard to be played song to set up this ambient soundscape with the most dry production known to man. The synth sounds very minimal, the guitar riff is fucking boring, the bass is extremely overkill with the distortion, and the drums sound so fucking bare because of how gated they are. In terms of vocals, they're fine, I guess, because it's Robert Smith. He's a good singer, and he's preserved his voice really well throughout the years, so barely anything has changed. The lyrics, though, they're very bland and uninspired like the instrumental. For 6 minutes, this tries to force an emotion that really isn't there. And I get why it strikes a chord with a lot of people, especially with Cure heads. And it does strike a chord with people because it's almost been 20 years since the Cure have made a song. For me, however, that really isn't an excuse because it's been almost 20 years and this is the shit you come up with. Plus, take in mind that this song and other new songs have been played live in the past. And I have a feeling that the whole album was played. Why? Well, because there's 8 tracks here and there's 8 tracks here. Now, we don't know what we will get, I'll say that, and there's most likely going to be a deluxe edition, but it's more than likely that because of this, we've consumed most, if not all, the content. And if you want my thoughts on that, I wasn't too pleased either. Other than a fragile thing and it can never be the same, I can't really say that I was a huge fan of the project. I won't judge the album now because it isn't fair, because we only have had one official single and bad sounding live recordings of the material that we do not know whether or not it'll be on the album. It may have just been pure coincidence that there's going to be 8 tracks here and there was 8 tracks here. What I will say though is that I am going to make a video dedicated to the Cure's discography, expressing my thoughts and ranking each album. Not really making a historical overview because the Cure don't really interest me enough for that, but other than key events like Lul's alcoholism getting kicked out or lineup changes, don't expect a complete Cure retrospective deep dive. It's It's just me talking about the albums in order, and I'm going to rank them. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. The single was not that great. I do not have any high expectation for when the official album's release is. I just think it's really fucking funny that there's been 8 tracks here and 8 tracks there, and if that was the full album, then yeah, yikes, that's not gonna look good. But other than that, yeah, I guess that's it, and I'll see you on the next video.